Dan and Rusty are bad at video games. Hi, I'm D. Bethel, here with my dog Rusty, for a video game power hour, yet again. And this time, we're going to be playing Deadpool for no good reason. Deadpool is a video game. And I'm not through the game quite yet. I'm getting close though. But this level is just garbage, just absolute garbage. So this game is made by High Moon Studios.
Way to go. He got away.
Give me some credit. Oh, I see.
And that's a company that I am familiar with because they made two actually pretty good Transformers games for the last generation of consoles. Transformers War for Cybertron and Transformers Fall of Cybertron. And those are good. Those actually did interesting things with that franchise. And so they were given the reins to Deadpool as well. And the game looks fine. Like, Deadpool looks really good. And the concept is interesting in as much as it's pretty meta. You're basically... I mean, there is no plot. There's like three different quote-unquote plots going on at the same time, and they're all technically connected. You're Deadpool, who wants to make a video game, and so he's basically proving that a game could be made about him. And it's an it's a game that seems like it's almost right. It's almost good. Well, it's not almost. It's pretty bad throughout, but there's some really good ideas here that are sound. The combat, which we'll see. Pardon the noise there. Rusty's eating on a frozen bone full of dog food. I am picking stuff out of my teeth. Anyway.
Imagine if your name was Dick.
You know what? This game isn't worth it. I'm stopping. No, we'll come back with a different game. Forget this goddamn game. Dan and Rusty are bad at video games. And we're back with a better comic book video game. I don't know why I didn't just start with this. I'm kind of ashamed of myself. Here we are with Battle Chasers. And, this is a game based on a comic that came out in the late 90s, I believe, through Image Comics or the imprint called Cliffhanger, by Joe Madureira, more colloquially known as Joe Mad. I'm just going back to a save, and going to take you through a dungeon, at least as far as it can go. So, Joe Madureira is probably best known for kind of bringing to mainstream comics this manga and anime influenced style that was highly copycatted for a decade. I would say he was kind of became the house style for a lot of comics during the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, especially when he was doing his run on X-Men. And Battle Chasers was well regarded, if, you know, considered light and fun. But, like a lot of comics at Image during the 90s, it was subject to very long delays. And eventually, Battle Chasers just never came back. And so Joe Mad went into game development, most popularly worked on the Darksiders video games. I think it's Darksiders. And then, when that company got broken up, he started his own company, and the first game they developed was Battle Chasers. Not a continuation, per se, of the comic series, but a new story within it. And it's definitely not a reboot. And it's pretty classy. What they basically did was make a traditional JRPG. and it's, as a JRPG, it's pretty good. Here's the main town called Harm's Way, where we have a bunch of different shops here, the focus of which is the inn and tavern.
Come on in.
And at each one, most of them are just shops, but the inn and tavern are where you can kind of swap out members of your party. There's a little sort of mini dungeon in the sewers, but you can also just kind of chat with people. Well, chat with the owner. It's where you also can rest and recuperate and buy stuff.
Watch the road.
But as you can see, the style is very cool,
Come on in.
very stylish, very anime, but also very Joe Mad. There's the smithy where you can actually kind of forge gear. This is all stuff I have recipes for, but what can I actually make? Nothing. I can make steel silk rose, but you can see it's not particularly helpful. So I haven't done much forging just because I haven't needed it. The only thing that I've really made were these this Chaos Eater sword, and there are 3 versions of it. I got it because I was a backer for the Kickstarter. And so they didn't give you the sword right away, they gave you the recipe and you had to forge it for yourself.
Oh, goodbye.
And so it's a 3-party team. And let me see if I have access. Let's just take a look at all the characters here. All of them are characters from the comic, except for one. There's the main character, ostensibly the Gully, who is wearing the gloves of Artemis, her hero father, now deceased. Garrison, who's a friend of her father's, and a sort of a mopey knight errant. There's Calibretto, this robot who, in order to... or it's like a war machine, but for some reason he is completely sentient and fights for good. We have Red Monica, who does not wear many clothes. She is a rogue, for lack of a better word. She wields guns and insults. Nolan, the wise sage, mage guy. And then the character they created for the game, Alamon, who is definitely not medieval Daredevil, despite the looks. Actually, I haven't used him very much because I'm like, I read the comic. I don't want to play with someone I don't know. This has been my main team: Gully, Garrison, and Calibretto. Calibretto is, I keep him around because he's a healer. That's how they kind of flipped the script on that. He's the biggest guy on the, well, the biggest character on the team, but most of his abilities revolve around healing. I've got my melee guy, Garrison, and Gully. Uh-oh, Rusty does not like Gully. Or do you not like Solo? Garrison, I mean? No? Yeah, we'll talk. And Gully, because she has these fighter gloves, she's actually quite hands-on, strong character, but a lot of her abilities revolve around shield. Putting shields on allies, over the team, over herself, and kind of absorbing damage.
Stay a while. Tell your friend.
Tell your friend. That was a good Sam Elliott impersonation, actually. So, this game is built on the idea of grind. And that's what I need to do. I got to the boss of the most recent dungeon, but I cannot beat it. And so, I'm going to go to the previous dungeon and just run through it again. Hopefully level up. And this is the weakest part of the game, where it seems to really want you to grind. And Rusty does not like grinding either. And you're grumpy today, bud. And we'll see how it goes, but you don't get much out of it except for more experience points. And even then, if you're really high level, it doesn't do much for you. You tell him, Rusty. So if you take a look at the inventory screen here, you got your equipped items, your weapon, your armor, your ring, a necklace, and this sort of extra object. You have your perks, which You have, as you can see at the top, so many points to spend, and as you go down the list, they become more expensive, and you have two strands with which to go to and split the points between. And then there's the skills, which are sort of character powers you can use in this sort of overhead mode and not in battle. And then there's your combat abilities that you unlock as you level up. And the burst down there are kind of your limit breaks. For like about it, you have 3 levels of it. Okay. So, I can't remember how many times I've done this dungeon before, but it has the fun sort of mechanic of bouncing between like real world and like shadow dead world kind of thing. Some walls disappear and reappear, and it's clever. Uh-oh. I don't like these guys at all. So I can shoot enemies with my character power that could either, depending on the character, can stun the enemies before they come into battle, or they can actually have damage caused to them. I seem to have missed. But it's a menu-based game here. Fighting system. Turn-based. And so this is where it gets interesting, because I don't mean to stop and talk too much, but you see on the bottom left, you have your hit points, and you have your AP, your magic points, whatever you want to call it. As you use these sort of basic actions, you generate something called overcharge, which you can see Garrison at the bottom already has plus 10, which means it's adding extra points onto your MP. And I have a maximum that I can overcharge too. So if I attack this skeleton here, I got 15 overcharge. So it's a max 25, or I'm at 25 more than my 120 AP. And this game kind of discourages you from using magic points, except for when you're fighting bosses. And the way it discourages you and kind of encourages interesting ways and strategies is to build up this overcharge and use it, because it's literally extra magic points. And use it in these grinding battles that before you get to the actual boss. So that way you can finish this battle, you don't heal. Do you heal? No, you don't heal. Do you heal? I don't think so. You don't heal between battles. Sorry, it's been a little while since I played this. And your magic points don't go up. But if you only use the overcharge magic points, then you don't actually dig into your magic points at all. Alright, so I have 40 overcharge magic points here, so I'm going to actually use a an ability here called Warblade, which consumes up to 40 overcharge, dealing 803 damage and adding 4.2 damage for each overcharge used. And so I like this one because it allows me, I want to build up as much overcharge as possible because it actually does extra damage because I've been building it up. So it's rewarding you for not using your normal base magic points, which is kind of fun. Wow. Nice. So one of the really nice things about this game is probably because it's Joe Mad Studios that they did an amazing job capturing his style in 3D, which of course he had experience with working, I think it's for Vigil Studios, the ones that did Darksiders. Woof. So I'm going to use one of Calibretto's map abilities here, which is to heal. And so it's a dungeon exploration game. And you have a map you can pull up. You can actually find maps to fill out all the unknown areas. This is kind of, although you go into a JRPG sort of style battle, but this isometric view and just kind of finding parts and pieces and loot is always what I imagine Diablo to be. But I have zero experience with Diablo, so I might be completely wrong. And I probably am. But like I said, they really did a good job capturing his style. I feel like the world around the characters looks good, but it feels a little generic. I wish it were a little more stylized. But you get what you get. So there's a wolf guy. I'm going to try to shoot him with my cannon. I'm going to shoot him again. And let's go into battle here. You can see on that Lysolot Venom Bomber at the bottom, a bunch of hit points have already been removed. So I got level 1 burst. I'm going to hold on to it. Because I like to do something more fun. Let's try to build it up a little bit. Let's just chip away a bit. Now the Lysolots were kind of the standard villains from the comics. So the beast perks that just popped up on screen are accrued just by killing more and more of the same enemy. You get advantages either against the enemy or just in combat in general. See if we could get to see this Warblade at any point. There we go. Pretty damaging. So we're using her second level burst boulder toss. Pretty satisfying. Oh. Oops. Thank you. I don't mean to brag. 2 XP. Booyah. You can switch on the fly between your 3 party members. And each have different character abilities, like whereas Calibretto could heal, Garrison can like dash, and he can also shoot people, but I think it stuns enemies upon entry into battle. And Gully, she can do like a ground pound, which confuses enemies maybe, I don't remember, or stuns them. And I forgot what her R2 ability is. Oh, creates a shield. There we go. There we go. So yeah, in normal world you can see that that area is blocked off. We've touched this weird little, you know, dish here, and in the shadow world, it's gone. But I can't get back onto this little pedestal. Let's see how that looks. Much better. Alright, there's a wall there. I got a good feeling that's going to disappear pretty soon. Oops. That was not what I meant to do. Oh. Pull the lever. Maybe. Did I miss something? I must have. There we go. Shadow lever. Here we go. This game is full of puzzles like that. I think I'm probably about maybe 3/4 of the way through the game. This book has a thin... Sorry, I need to learn how to read, English teacher. This book has thin, ancient pages. It's opened to a passage that reads, "Life is but a prison. There is only freedom in death." Alright. So we got 3 possibilities here to get through, but they look like they would hurt me. Yes, they... Oh, shit! Let's fix that right up. So the only freedom is death. I'm guessing that since there's a picture of a skeleton in a robe and a sickle, this might not hurt me? It's been a while since I played this dungeon. Yeah! I beat your puzzle. I beat your puzzle. You got nothing on Calibretto. Smoking. Alright. Loot in. Oh, that's another thing. I forgot about this game. Some of this is like... All of this is... I remember this, but it was freaking me out because it looked a little different. And I forgot that the dungeons, if I'm not mistaken... Hold on. There is an inscription beneath the statue. Here lies Lord Bellavros, fearless commander and soldier. In honor for his service at the Iron Outpost, may she never fall. Yeah, may she never fall. I'm with you on that one, bud. But the actual maps are randomized. The rooms are authored, but they are assembled procedurally. So it's not a true proc gen kind of dungeon, not roguelike, but it's kind of clever. So every time you play the game or go through the dungeon, which you do a lot in order to level up, it's different to an extent. Hey guys, I'm gonna shoot you. And again. Alright. Are we gonna fight? Okay. So I think because of the overcharge mechanic, I actually enjoy, or don't mind, the, wow, the repetition of turn-based battles, RPG style. Because I find I'm actually looking around the screen a lot more. I'm not just holding down a button like you would when playing a Final Fantasy X or 6 or whatever again. It's like, just fight these guys. Because the overcharge makes the use of abilities that cost mana in this case. Oh, hi. Makes it less precious. You can do the cool moves and not worry about needing to save up your ether potions and stuff like that. Probably should have chosen the harder difficulty. I can't remember if I'd already gone through this one on the hard mode, like I am now. Excuse me. Just need to get this treasure back here. We were fools. No sight of this importance to verses would go unprotected, unguarded, unwarded. In attempting to quiet this place, we have triggered something. I can't describe what. The place is alive, dangerous in ways that can't be explained. This will be my last message, I am sure. I can only hope a member of the Order finds these memoirs talking British hurts my throat, and takes heed of this message. The dead here shall never rest. The entire area must be destroyed. Not just warded, eliminated, turned over, wasted, burned. Destroy this place as it now does to me, lest I should unwillingly join the legions of undead who may later be called to fight for Varus. Macron, the Charred. There's all kinds of lore like that. I admittedly am a bad nerd. I've kind of been skipping past it thinking, and I know I can kind of read it later. Hi! Alright, so the guy that's sort of transparent, I can't actually attack him right now. Let's just Swift Strike this guy. And Calabretta will Gut Punch to this guy. Nice. So I can just kind of go into, oh, there we go, help people out. Now he does, yeah, he's got 30, so he's got this wildfire option. So even though I can't, just as a direct attack, I highlight that guy. If you have an ability that just sort of randomizes, attacks, you can do it. But this guy's going to come out of hiding right now anyway. Whoa. Felt good. Woof. Anyway. So it's oh, watch out for lightning. That's kind of fun. It's been a long time since I played a JRPG style game. I'm not gonna lie. I think, like, actually played one. I played RPGs, like I played, you know, the Elder Scrolls games or Fallout, but I honestly don't really remember the last time I played through a JRPG. It might not have been since gosh. I can feed an item to this and it'll imbue it with a cool power if I find the... It's going to disappear. And if I find it, I'll have the item back and it'll be cool, I guess. But I don't think I've really played a JRPG since... Gosh, I don't... Maybe the PS2 era? Well, I've been playing through Final Fantasy 12 again. That actually might be the... Yeah, that was PS2. That might be the last time I really played through one. Because I haven't played any of the new Final Fantasy since then. Huh. Yeah, must be Final Fantasy 12. I mean, I had like Final Fantasy 6 on the Game Boy, and you know, like that's fine. But I don't, you know, playing a new one all the way through. Mini boss. Looks pretty rad. Uh-oh, we got a burst. I'm gonna save my burst. See if we can get some exciting stuff going here. 'Cause I got a feeling you're not gonna be too hard. Oh no. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I get it. I'm on fire. Woo, I'm on fire, something fierce. Yay. Oh. That's no fun. I'm not gonna use a limit break that doesn't do any damage. Are you insane? It's almost dead anyway. That's a weird thing. Like those, I'm on fire and it does damage with each turn. They can stack. That's pretty frustrating. But it's cool. I like that they do that. Oof. I just put him down. Woo! So I got 2 perk points, and all those items that unlocked are just new perks. Let's go see what those are. Yay! Nope, that's the wrong button. Perks. So these are the weakest perks down to the strongest ones. These are the last 4 that I needed to unlock for him. Deep wounds. So what do they do? Hold on. Enrage 2. I don't really use that. I don't use that one too often. Vicious wounds. Bleeds can... Alright. Deep wounds. Oh, that is cool. I don't know how to get to 20 points. So I've got 3 points to spend, which is not how this works. So what I could do is kind of take away points, and you can see the ones that are open. God, I could do... God, that's really cool. Bleeds can now crit. I'm gonna do this where I get a 5 overcharge every time. Every time, each tick, like every time an enemy gets hurt by a bleed. That's nuts. Sure. Sure. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hmm. Hmm. Damn it, I can't get there. Oop, no, let's stick that. Let's go ahead and take that away. And I like that. Okay, sorry. Okay. Do I have any better weapons for her? These gloves that have a pirate's skull and crossbones on there. No. Damn. Oof. Okay. All right. Where are we at? I can go left. I came from the right. That is not a treasure chest. Let's go forward. $24 gold. Not too bad. Cool, cool. Alright. I remember this puzzle. I think it's just like last time. You gotta go up here, pull a lever to open that door in the middle. Nice. I think Battle Chasers might have been, if not the first, at least one of the early examples I had ever seen of a steampunk fantasy aesthetic. And was pretty taken with it. I mean, actually, the first steampunk fantasy aesthetic I saw was Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 6. Oh, sorry, bud. Cool. Alright. I believe after much research that the area now known as Deadwatch is where Varus placed many of his slain soldiers for future, I can't speak, the words I write, reanimation. The winding maze of tombs, somehow clouded by perpetual storm, has been avoided for ages. And while the area appears peaceful, we mustn't give in to complacency. Clergy of the Order must come to Deadwatch immediately, so they may banish these souls from recall forever. Time will not wait for us, nor shall I burn in its eternal flame. Signed, Markron. To everything. Okay. Gray bone shards. Sure, I'll drink from the Shrine of Experience. I gain more experience from combat. And so this here is a teleport point. Those pop up. You can see there's 2 more. I don't need to go back though, so I'm okay. So you can leave the dungeon and come back kind of how you left it, or you can reset the dungeon if you want. Oops. Madureira. Nice. Okay. Hey. Gotcha. Rattlebone Archer and Grave Digger. Uh-oh, we're almost at full burst. We are at... Oops, I missed. Good night. Hey, that was nice. Alright. Oop. I haven't been using the items very often. What is... Oh, okay. Oop. I don't find that the healing flats really heal that much in these later levels. Let's go ahead and do this. So, Gully has her Might of Aramis. I'll come back to you. He has Blade Master. Ooh. Want to see that? Let's see that. I hate spiders. One hit wonder, sure. You want to give me that little praise? I'll take it. Whoa, that was quite a crit. That's not an untrue statement, Gully. This was almost a fair fight. Absolutely correct. You can go fishing in this game. I don't want to go fishing. Oh. Good there. Stunned. Or confused or something. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good at all. Awesome. What? As you approach the coffin, a disembodied voice speaks to you, seemingly from all sides of you, as if there were several voices. Simple mortal, do you expect to find treasure here? We didn't mean to presume. Begone then. Up you. Up. What? Whatever, man. That's what I get for being nice. Hey. Prepare to be put down. Uh-oh. Stunned. Awesome. Okay. Alright. This treasure chest looks sketchy. Whoa. Uh-oh. Calibretto got a new... It's probably... not sex. Oh, it's what it's what I'm already equipped with. All right, fair enough. Uh-oh. So I'll do this fight and then wrap it up for now. because we're running out of time. And come back next week with the rest of this dungeon. Ouch. I don't like that at all. Alright, Calibretto. Sit down. Maybe I can clean out the room. Well, they're coming anyway. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Alright. Is this room clear? I think this room might be clear. Yep. Alright. So, Rusty, hey, there's another guy. I'll deal with him later. Rusty, what have we learned today? We've learned that, that grinding is just another job, man. But we learned that if it's pretty, and if the battle, you know, mechanics are interesting, it can be fun. I still enjoy this game. But will we get through the rest of the dungeon? I don't know. You have to come back next week, dear listeners. Dear listener? Dear viewer? What do we call you when it's a video? I don't even know anymore. So, until next week. Hold on, before I do that, let's say the stuff I need to say. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Type into YouTube for all intents and purposes, I think. Yeah, no, a website for all intents and purposes. It's been a while since I've done this. Rusty. Be sure to check out our website, or written content at forallintents.net. And be sure to check out a podcast for all intents and purposes. New episodes every Friday at also forallintents.net. So until next week, I'm D. Bethel, and I speak for my dog Rusty, that for all intents and purposes, that was a video. Thank you for watching.